Welcome back. I hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day. Christina, what did you end up doing?
We went to sushi. It was very romantic.
Did you feed each other with...
That's secret. Private information.
Well, in honor of post-Valentine's Day, are going to continue the trend by talking a little bit more about some of the wines that we tried last week with those yummy chocolates, remember?
Awesome.
So, first wine we're going to be tasting here is a Porto.
Porto.
Right? Because it's from Portugal. It's
okay, well then, that makes sense.
It's a 2004 late bottle vintage, aka LBV. And that just means simply that it's a wood-aged port, meaning it's been aged for 4 to 6 years in oak casks.
So will it give some oaky flavors? Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
So let's talk about that. What sort of oaky flavors, and let's talk and pour, should we be looking for? Like caramel, nut, coffee.
Right?
But this is, you know, it's more of a ruby style, so it's going to have brighter, fiery, spicy sort of flavors.
Smells chocolatey.
Here's the brilliance about port. It's a sweet wine, but it's not syrupy.
Right.
It still has, because remember, red grapes have what that white grapes don't?
Skins. Oh, tannins.
Duh, good job. Tannins. And tannins are a drying sensation. So you've got the sweetness, the acid that salivates, but then the drying sensation of the tannins, which helps sort of balance out and disguise the residual sugar or the sweetness levels.
Okay, and what makes a port sweet?
It's fortified. Well, not all sweet wines, but for ports.
Okay.
And port style
And
wines.
fortified means?
Basically, you add a neutral grape spirit or high levels of alcohol like a brandy.
Okay.
To stop the fermentation process prematurely.
But it adds more alcohol.
Exactly. So you're adding these high levels of alcohol, and alcohol, even though it's ironically a byproduct of fermentation, at high levels becomes toxic to yeast cells.
And that stops the fermentation.
It kills the yeasts, basically.
Okay.
And you have to strategically choose when you want to stop the fermentation. So if you want a sweet style wine, you obviously have to stop it before all the sugar has been converted to alcohol.
Oh, so yeah.
So it doesn't taste,
it really
it's sweet,
pleasant.
but it's pleasant. And you know, it's fortified to 20%, so you really only need like half a glass to get a buzz.
Or, yes, you only need half a glass.
Or a bottle.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is port. Let's, you can enjoy while I talk a little bit about what's next.
If this is fortified before...
Yes, port fortified during fermentation.
And this is fortified
after during fermentation. So it's fermented dry. Normally, the style is Oloroso and it's a dry style.
Okay. But when it's cream...
When it's cream, that means they've then, after the fermentation, after the fortification, they've added in sweet grape juice to sweeten this wine from the grape varietal called PX Pedro Jimenez.
Oh, I recall.
Most all sherries are non-vintage, meaning not 1 year. They're a blend of different years and have been aged for quite a long time in oak. So you should pick up a lot more caramel, nutty characteristics than the port.
Okay.
Because the style. It's more like stylistically, and even if you look at it, it looks more like a tawny than it does a ruby.
Right.
Hence the color. And it's pretty, right? It's like an orangey caramel color.
Yeah, it definitely looks caramel.
It smells caramel. It smells like butterscotch. Like
I can definitely smell the oak more in this than the other one. It definitely has a creamy quality.
Luscious. And it's in the finish
much different. The finish is long.
Really oaky. I actually like the Oloroso personally. Okay, we've got a Royal Tokai. This is a botryticized style wine.
And that means?
It means botrytis is a fancy term for mold or fungus. So basically,
we're gonna pretend like this is blue cheese and really, you know, the positive side. You know, penicillin. Good things about mold.
But what happens is we're not really drinking like you eat the blue cheese mold. There's, a little bit. What happens is the mold surrounds the grape skins and they penetrate the grape skins. By penetrating the grape skins, it releases water. Therefore concentrating the sugars in the grape naturally.
Okay.
Tokai is a region in
So not a lot of wines coming out of Hungary.
Oh, tons of wines.
Tons of wines.
Just
okay.
People don't know about it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this is going to be a very different flavor profile. However, you're gonna like the Oloroso, you're gonna pick up a lot of oaky flavors to it, the nutty, the caramel,
this is more of a honeysuckle,
apricots, peaches.
Okay,
really
so if you're gonna go and have fruit dessert,
perfect.
You know, like pie, this is what you want to go with.
Or apricot pie would be pimp.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
It would be
a crumble, even a blueberry crumble. Yum. Right?
So there it is. I'm sure you're all salivating at home. And
I'm gonna keep drinking my Zim.
We'll catch you next week.
Catch you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.